Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? So today we're going to talk a little bit about base running, specifically with a man on second base um, and two outs, just because that's what the situation here is in the World Series game between the Royals and the Giants. A couple of big things, really, really important with two outs, especially running on second base. We'll kind of play it here. Single, Hosmer rounds third, and he scores. A couple of things I want to talk about or hit on in this video. Let's back up real quick. First, when we're taking our lead with two outs, first thing is make sure that we're deep, that we're not in line with the base. We want to be a few steps deeper than normal so that we have an angle. We create an angle early so that we can round third base and stay as tight as possible here. Instead of getting way out here and wide so that it takes a long time to get home. So preset your lead a little bit deep. Another couple things to keep in mind. When you set deep, make sure on your secondary lead that you don't take your secondary back into the line. Some guys will walk back into the line, and now when the ball's hit, they've got to go back out again. So start deep, and when you take your secondary, stay deep. Okay, so that's the first thing. Get deep on a secondary. The second thing is, with two outs especially, you can be aggressive on your secondary lead. Now, I'm not saying to be out of control and get way, way out here so that you get picked off, but you can be a little bit more aggressive because with two outs, the infielders are playing back. Their job is to knock the ball down to try to get to the ball. They're not going to try to hold you, and therefore, it's not going to be easy for them to put a pick on. So if you watch Hosmer's secondary here, it's a shuffle, but it's pretty aggressive, and he's getting out there so that on a hit, he scores easy here. There's absolutely no chance to throw him out. So you want to be aggressive with your secondary lead. Get off the bag. If there's no action, if the ball is taken or swung through, then you have to have a hard crossover step back, and you have to get back as quickly as you can. But don't be afraid to get out there because the chance of a pick is pretty low with two outs. Infielders are playing back. With two strikes, you want to anticipate bat movement. So on the swing, you're going. You don't have to see the ball hit. Once the bat starts to move and you know he's going to be committed to the swing, you're off. With two strikes also, if you know the pitch is going to be a strike, so the pitch is right down the middle or close enough, you can start to cheat and start to go because it's going to be either strike three, he's going to hit the ball. And so you cheat and you get off. Watch it again, hard secondary, and go. Now, this isn't probably the best angle here. Hosmer was decently deep, but you can see he's still, if we go slow motion here, he still goes a little bit wide. He gets out here probably a little too far. Really, really good base runners, and I will say he had a pretty good idea that there was no chance that he was getting thrown out on this play. And so he probably didn't take as tight of a turn as easy. You can see he can kind of just jog in here. But if we go back real quick, the best route that we could take would be to really cut this thing hard, to lean your left shoulder, and to try to get as much. You almost want to be getting to the point where you're coming here so that your foot is more pointed in this direction. You see how his toe, he's getting on the inside of the bag, which is good. You want to get on the inside of the bag. But you see his foot down right there? His toe is pointed out in this direction right here. So if you can get it so that as you take this angle, your toe should be pointed almost more in this direction right here, pointed this way. That's going to keep you tight, keep you around that bag, and keep you more in the dirt. Now, it's almost impossible to stay directly in the dirt, but if you can get within this spot here of only maybe a foot or two in the grass, that's going to cut down the distance that you have to run. For every foot you get out here this way, you've got to run another foot just to get back in the line. So, instead of running 90 feet home, guys end up running 110 feet or 100 feet home because they take so many steps out here wide. And now every step that you take wide, you've got to come back into the baseline. And so you're just making the distance that you have to run so much further. again, he kind of knows that he can just coast into home plate. But super, super important. Guys don't focus, I don't think, a ton on this. Everyone worries about hitting and defense and pitching, but base running, being able to score from second base, be able to take good angles, be able to take aggressive secondary leads. All of that stuff matters, especially when you move up in levels. And outfielders have really good arms, and runs are at a premium, especially in the playoffs. You're facing great pitching. You've got to do the small things right if you want to be successful as a team and you want to score runs. So just a couple of tips today on 2-out secondary leads from second base. Hopefully it helps you out a little bit. Really work on it. Really focus on it. Work on it during BP. You know, I know a lot of guys do base running, but I also know that a lot of guys just kind of go through the motions. And so put yourself out there and visualize 2 outs. And visualize yourself scoring and getting a good secondary and getting off on contact and taking a good angle, hitting the inside part of the bag and staying close to the dirt and not getting wide. Focus on doing all that stuff because it's really, really important. It makes a difference. All right, guys? Hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment in the section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with all your friends, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you later.